What if the key to lighter, pain-free legs has been sitting in your kitchen all along? In just 7 days, one woman's legs went from heavy and swollen to strong and free without a single pill. Ancient remedies might hold the answer to leg pain and swelling that modern medicine often overlooks. Welcome to Healthy Roots 999, your trusted place for natural, practical ways to keep your body strong and vibrant at every age. A week ago, her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, were swollen, heavy, and stiff. Just getting up from a chair felt like dragging blocks of concrete steps. Were slow asleep, was restless, and the ache never quite went away. It wasn't a rare case. It's something so many people over 60 quietly live with every single day. But here's the part that surprises everyone after just 7 days. Her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, felt lighter. The pain faded, she could move more freely, sleep better, and even enjoy a morning stroll without fear of us stumbling. And no, there was no new prescription, no doctor visit, and no expensive machine. All she did was apply a simple oil to her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life every day, an oil most people already have, sitting in their kitchen, one that's been used for centuries, yet forgotten in today's world of pills and procedures. And what it did in just 1 week, without side effects, without stress, felt nothing short of incredible. This video is for anyone who's tired of the pain, the swelling, and that nagging heaviness in the legs. Those tireless pillars that carry us through life. Because yes, you can ease it, you can feel light again. And it starts with something as small and powerful as this natural oil. So stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to use it, what results to expect day by day, and 3 natural combinations to take it even further. And before we go on, leave a comment below with your age and where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe Healthy Roots 999 so you never miss practical natural tips that truly work. Now let's take a closer look at why legs. It happened little by little. At first, it was just a dull ache behind her knees after a walk to the mailbox. Then she started noticing how her ankles puffed up by evening, even on days she barely moved. When she bent down to water her plants, her calves would cramp up by the time she reached 72. Even getting out of her recliner required effort. She never expected, like many women her age, Margaret thought, well, maybe this is just what getting older feels like. But the truth was, her body had been giving her quiet warnings for years. Her circulation was slowing. The blood vessels that once pumped easily were now stiff and narrow. Blood wasn't flowing down or back up as well as it used to. And without a steady circulation, her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, were starving for oxygen and nutrients. That's why they felt tired and weak, like they just couldn't keep up. At the same time, fluid was building up in her lower body. Her kidneys and lymph system weren't clearing water as efficiently, and gravity pulled it all to her feet and ankles. That swelling wasn't just uncomfortable. It made walking harder, balance trickier, and sleep more restless. And let's not forget muscle loss without regular stimulation. The muscles in Margaret's thighs and calves were quietly shrinking. She wasn't lazy, just unaware, but weaker muscles meant more strain on her joints and a greater chance of falling. It wasn't hopeless. Her body didn't need miracles. It needed support. And Margaret found that support in the most unexpected way. Let's talk about it now. It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when Margaret found the bottle. She wasn't even looking for it. She had been reorganizing her spice cabinet, something she hadn't done in years, and there it was, a small glass bottle tucked behind the vinegar and dried oregano. She picked it up, read the label, and smiled to herself. Rosemary oil, a time-tested herbal remedy known for boosting circulation and soothing tired muscles. She remembered buying it ages ago after reading. It was good for sore muscles, but like so many things, it had been forgotten that night. Her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, were aching again. Instead of reaching for her heating pad, she decided, why not? She rubbed a few drops of the rosemary oil, a time-tested herbal remedy known for boosting circulation and soothing tired muscles, between her palms, warmed it slightly, and gently massaged it into her calves and thighs. The scent alone was enough to shift the atmosphere, herbal, fresh, calming. But it was what happened next that truly surprised her. Within minutes, she felt a soft warmth rising under her skin. Not burning, just a comforting sensation, as if her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, were waking up that night. For the first time in weeks, she slept through without cramping. Rosemary oil, a time-tested herbal remedy known for boosting circulation and soothing tired muscles, might sound simple, but there's a reason it's been used for generations. It's not just a kitchen herb, it's packed with powerful plant compounds like rosmarinic acid and antioxidants. These natural elements help boost blood flow, soothe inflamed tissues, and ease muscle tension. In fact, ancient Greek and Roman healers used rosemary oil, a time-tested herbal remedy known for boosting circulation and soothing tired muscles, exactly this way for tired legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, stiff joints and aching feet after long walks. What makes it special is how quickly it works. It stimulates peripheral circulation, meaning it brings blood back to the areas that need it most. The legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, ankles and feet. It's also anti-inflammatory, so it helps reduce the swelling that builds up from standing or sitting too long. And maybe just as important, it brings a sense of peace. That smell, that warmth, that ritual for Margaret, it became more than just a massage. It became a moment for herself. Now, if you're wondering how exactly to use this oil to get the same kind of results she did, don't worry. I'm about to walk you through it step by step. Let's go there next. Now let's talk about how Margaret used the oil. Not just what she used, but how. Because this part is what turns a simple product into a powerful daily ritual. The best time to apply rosemary oil, a time-tested herbal remedy known for boosting circulation and soothing tired muscles, is right after a warm shower. That's when your skin is clean, your pores are open, and your muscles are already a little relaxed. But even if you haven't just bathed, what matters most is that your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, are clean and dry. Margaret would first hold the little bottle in her hands for a few seconds, just enough to warm it gently if it felt cold. She'd place it near a warm towel for a moment. Then she'd pour 5 or 6 drops into her palm, rub her hands together, and take a deep breath. That scent, that herbal, earthy, grounding scent, was like flipping a switch. It told her body, this is your time now. She always started at her ankles, moving in slow circles upward, not rushing, not pressing too hard, Just firm, loving strokes up her calves, behind the knees, back down the shins, and then higher into the thighs. And on her thighs, she moved even slower, long enveloping motions, like she was giving her legs those tireless pillars that carry us through life. A hug. It wasn't just massage, it was connection. One leg took her about 5 to 7 minutes. She breathed deeply as she moved, syncing her touch with her breath in, through the nose, out through the mouth. It became a kind of meditation, a moment of silence and care. In a noisy world, and here is what she found, worked best twice a day, once in the morning to energize the legs. Those tireless pillars that carry us through life for the day ahead and again, at night to release the pressure and tension that had built up throughout the day, 7 days. That's all it took to feel the shift after that first week. Margaret didn't stop. She just adjusted, sometimes once a day, sometimes only at night. When her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, felt heavier, but it wasn't a chore. It became part of her rhythm, like brushing her teeth or drinking tea before bed. And if you want to make it even more powerful, there are little things you can add after the massage. She'd often prop her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, up on 2 pillows. Just 15 minutes of elevation to help blood flow back toward the heart. Other times, if her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, felt especially sore, she'd lay a warm towel across them after massaging. That moist heat helped the oil soak in deeper and brought extra comfort. But the most important part wasn't any of that. It was the stillness. No phone, no TV, no background noise. Just Margaret, her hands, and her breath. Because when you slow down, something changes. Not just in your body, but in your spirit too. And if you are wondering what happens after you do this for a full week, well, that's exactly what we'll explore next. What surprised Margaret most wasn't just how her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, felt. It was how fast they began to respond. By the end of the first week, things had shifted in a way she hadn't felt in years. And while every body is different, many people report a similar rhythm of change. The first day wasn't about pain relief. It was about presence, just taking the time to massage her legs. Those tireless pillars that carry us through life, to breathe, to focus on herself, already made her feel lighter, not physically maybe, but emotionally. It reminded her that her body still mattered. That she still mattered. By the second day, there was a subtle difference. Her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, didn't feel as stiff when she stood up. And at night, the usual cramps didn't jolt her awake. She slept more deeply, more peacefully. Day 3 brought a little surprise. While moving around the house, she noticed something. She wasn't shuffling anymore. Her steps felt smoother. Her feet didn't drag. She still had soreness, sure, but the heaviness was beginning to lift by day 4. Her skin looked healthier. The dryness and flakiness she'd ignored were now replaced with a soft glow. Her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, looked alive again, and that in turn made her feel more alive. On the 5th and 6th days, something else appeared. Confidence. She walked a little taller, didn't hesitate. When stepping off the curb, she even climbed the stairs without gripping the railing. And on day 7, she paused, looked down at her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, and smiled. Because for the first time in a long time, they didn't feel like a burden. They felt like part of her again. And while those 7 days can bring real change, Some people find even better results when they explore other oils that match their specific needs. Let me show you a few of the best ones. While rosemary oil, a time-tested herbal remedy known for boosting circulation and soothing tired muscles, worked wonders for Margaret. It's not the only natural option out there. In fact, depending on what your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, are going through. Whether it's swelling nighttime cramps or visible veins, there might be another oil that suits your body even better. Let's start with one that many people over 60 are rediscovering: arnica oil. If your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, bruise, easily feel tender to the touch, or swell after walking or standing, this might be what your body's been quietly needing. Arnica comes from a bright yellow flower, long used in traditional remedies across Europe. When applied properly, it helps ease inflammation and calms the muscle tissue that's been overworked. Margaret's friend Helen, 75, who stands on her feet most days selling vegetables at the market, swears by it now after using it for just a few days. The soreness behind her knees melted away. Now, if your biggest struggle is sleep, especially if leg discomfort keeps you up at night, there's lavender oil. Its scent alone is enough to quiet the mind. But when massaged into the legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, it does even more. It gently relaxes the muscles and calms overactive nerves. Lavender doesn't just help your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life rest, it helps you rest. That's why many people keep it near their bedside, ready for those evenings when the body just won't settle down. Then there is horse chestnut oil. This one's especially helpful if you're dealing with poor circulation or visible veins. It's been used across Europe, particularly in Germany, to help strengthen blood vessel walls and reduce the feeling of heaviness in the lower legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life. For those who find their ankles ballooning by the end of the day, or who feel like their legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life are simply giving up. Horse chestnut might be exactly what they need. Now, you don't have to choose just one. Some people blend a few drops of each into a carrier oil like almond or olive and apply it the same way. Others alternate based on how their legs, no matter how powerful, works alone to truly transform how your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, feel. There are a few simple habits you can start doing today, and they're coming up next. If you've ever wondered why some people get faster results than others, here's the secret. The oil does its part, but your daily habits complete the picture. Margaret didn't change her whole life overnight. She didn't join a gym or start taking a dozen new supplements. What she did was far simpler. She began moving mindfully each morning. Before breakfast, she walked for just 10 minutes around her block. No pressure, no rush, just fresh air, steady steps, and a little rhythm in her legs. Those tireless pillars that carry us through life. That gentle movement worked like a pump, encouraging circulation and helping the oil do its job deeper and longer. She also added 3 simple exercises that anyone can do at home. Standing by her kitchen counter, she would rise onto her toes and slowly lower herself, strengthening her calves. Sitting in her armchair, she'd stretch one leg out at a time to engage her thighs. And whenever she remembered, she made soft circles with her ankles to keep things moving. It didn't take more than 5 minutes. But the impact, huge. Her meals didn't change much either. But she started adding more foods that support healthy blood flow, like garlic, turmeric, and berries. And she cut back just a little on salt. especially in the evening, which helped reduce the swelling in her ankles. And then there was rest every afternoon. Margaret took 15 minutes to elevate her legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life. Just 2 pillows under her calves as she lay back and breathed. That small break gave her veins a chance to reset and helped the swelling melt away. At night, she tucked a soft pillow under her ankles while she slept. Simple changes, but they added up beautifully but naturally. As more people begin this journey, questions come up. So let's take a moment to answer the most common ones honestly and clearly as more and more people begin trying this simple routine. A few questions always seem to come up, and they're important because when we understand our own needs better, we get better results. The first question is, usually, can I still use the oil if I have varicose veins? The answer is yes. But gently, if your veins are visible or sensitive, don't press hard during the massage. Use soft upward strokes without applying pressure directly on the veins and elevate your legs. Those tireless pillars that carry us through life afterward, that small step makes a big difference. Then there's, I'm over 80. Will this still work for me? Yes. Age doesn't cancel your body's ability to respond. It might take a little more time, but your skin, your muscles, your circulation, they still listen. We've heard from people in their late 80s and even early 90s who felt stronger, more stable, and more connected after just a few days of consistent care. Is this only for women? Not at all. Men need this just as much. Poor circulation, leg cramps, muscle loss. These don't pick favorites. In fact, many older men who had never tried massage before said they were shocked by how deeply it helped them, not just physically, but emotionally too. Another common one is, how long should I keep using it? There's no exact rule. 7 days is a good start. After that, you can continue once a day or a few times a week, depending on how your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, feel. For some, it becomes a nightly habit, something to look forward to. Just listen to your body. It will tell you. And finally, what if I don't feel results right away? That's okay. Everyone's body responds differently. If your legs, those tireless pillars that carry us through life, have been struggling for years, it may take more than a few days to unwind the tension. Be consistent. Pair the oil with movement, hydration, and rest. Give it a little time, even if small shifts, less swelling, better sleep, easier steps means something is working now. Before we wrap up, there's one last thing I want to say, something many people don't hear enough, and it matters more than you think. Let's talk about that next. Before this video ends, I want to remind you of something simple but powerful: your legs. Those tireless pillars that carry us through life have carried you through a lifetime, through celebrations, through grief, through every step that brought you to where you are now. They have supported you when no one else could. And maybe over time, you stopped noticing them, or worse, started resenting them for hurting, slowing down, or changing shape. But here's the truth: they still deserve care. You still deserve care, not because you're trying to look younger, not because you need to prove anything, but because attention is a form of love, and your body is worthy of that love at every age. So tonight, take 5 minutes, sit down, warm a little oil in your hands, breathe slowly, and just listen to your body, to your breath, to that quiet feeling of coming home to yourself. If this video meant something to you, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Roots, Nita 99, for more real, natural ways to feel strong, supported, and fully alive in your own body. Until next time, walk gently and walk with love.